Let's go inside weather for a minute. The next time you take a look at a weather satellite or the data, you can thank the hard work of the Fort Wayne branch of a global corporation.
Now, Wayne 15 meteorologist Nathan Gidley got an exclusive look inside the operations of L3Harris Technologies. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. L3Harris has been a part of the Fort Wayne community since Philo T. Farnsworth, the father of television, set up shop on Pontiac Street in the early 1940s. L3Harris first began space-based meteorological observations in 1964 and became involved with NOAA weather satellites in 1978. The Fort Wayne location is now on Cook Road and is one of about 300 L3Harris locations worldwide. This location has been developing the instruments that create weather satellite images and more recently developing instruments to detect and track missiles for defense purposes.
The resolution we get from geostationary orbit is the same as if you were standing in Times Square and you were able to pick out the distance between home base and pitcher's mound at Wrigley Field in Chicago. So that's the kind of resolution we're talking about.
The company has been working on the Advanced Baseline Imager, or ABI, for the current Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellites R Series, or GOES-R Series, for quite some time. The contract was initially awarded in 2004, and the last satellite of this series will launch in 2024. Then an additional 15 years or so of monitoring and supporting the satellites in orbit occurs. It is all to help forecasters see what weather is happening so decisions can be made.
This spring we've won the GeoXO imager for NOAA and NASA. That's going to be the next generation geostationary imager that has advancements over the current versions. It has 18 spectral channels instead of 16, which gives, again, 2 additional colors you're looking at. It results in about 3 times the raw data because we also have 4 times the spatial resolution on some of the existing bands. So we're going to higher resolution and more colors, some more detail for forecasters.
Instruments have to be long-lasting, reliable, and send back high-quality data from 22,000 miles away in space. Instruments are built and a rigorous series of thermal, vacuum, vibration, and optical tests happen right here in Fort Wayne before the excitement of the launch.
Probably the most exciting part is once you get to spacecraft, you integrate that instrument to the spacecraft, do testing on the spacecraft, and then get to go out to launch site. So our engineers live with those instruments through the life cycle. Again, from design, build and test here at our instrument level. They go out to the spacecraft, they build and test it there, integrate to the spacecraft, do the testing there, and then they actually follow it to the launch base, do testing at the launch base. You know, even when it's on the rocket, on the pad, they'll do a liveness electrical test on the pad before it launches, and then we're sitting there at the console watching telemetry data come in as they launch and making sure everything turns on right, and then we support it through the life on orbit too.
Yeah, more recently, the Fort Wayne branch is beginning to work on projects to serve Japan in the coming years. The company is always hiring and they're expanding their testing capabilities to a new 90,000 square foot building. You can read much more about L3Harris's history in Fort Wayne and projects by visiting this story on Wayne.com.